When she was born, she had no sky. She was open, inviting, and the stars would rush into her through the skin of her, making the oceans boil with sensation. When she could endure no more ecstasy, she puffed up her cheeks and blew out the sky. These were the words of the oral traditions of the Saffron people, myths of the earth that was, created as memories faded. No human alive today has breathed its air. Artifacts from the planet were invaluable treasures, as none existed within the verse. While it was deemed to be habitable again, hundreds of years later, it was not colonized. 34 Tari, the verse, was a star cluster. As to humanity's knowledge, they were always here. Chinese and American cultures dominated, even going so far as to mix. Major history has occurred here, what remained as absolute, and what remained as fact. Anything regarding the earth that was is merely myth. The core worlds, as tradition, was richer and more civilized than the outer. It had stripped the outer worlds of its resources and technology to greedily fund its own functionality. It had enough food to feed all of its own citizens, consequently degrading the outer worlds into starvation. When the outer planets had had enough of this mistreatment, they declared independence. A semi-confederacy, a new state, was born. They called themselves the Independent Planets. Unknown to them, they were doomed from the start. The formation of the Union of Allied Planets, the government of the Central Worlds that rejected the Declaration to preserve their own wealth. The Unification War started. For 6 years, this war was waged. A declaration was declared, armies and navies were mobilized, battles were fought, propaganda was propagated, and brothers and sisters fought. Little about the war is known, although there is knowledge about some of the major battles that were fought. The Battle of Sturgis was a short engagement, yet it was the bloodiest within the war. It saw the first uses of the Alliance fast attack ship, who utilized wolf tactics against the Firefly class of the Independent Planets. Unlike Allied propaganda, the Independent Planets were not immediately overrun. They were the masters of guerrilla warfare. Despite this, however, the Independent Planets were eventually outmatched, and at the Battle of Serenity, which became their last stand, they lost. The Independent Planets dissolved, and the Union of Allied Planets re-established its tyrannical hold over the outer worlds. Its members became the prey, and Allied guns became the predator. The outer worlds were left to die, its people continued to starve, and hope for it cannot be seen. Its resources were used up to fuel the wealth of the central planets. The end of the war was marked with celebration. An event known as Unification Day was held yearly thereafter. The Union of Allied Planets, in its current form, was born.